Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Bryon Sperduti, the Battalion Stallion, and I have the honor of interviewing Mr. Joe Rich from All Business Fitness.
All Business Fitness.
You got that right. I'm gonna run through a couple questions with Joe so you can get to know him a little better and get some insight on his life and how he rolls. So, first question for you: what was your first weightlifting or bodybuilding experience? Like the first aha moments? I want to do this.
Well, it first all started with, I would say, a little cartoon back in the day. My mother had just found this in the basement. It's my He-Man jumpsuit. I don't know if you can see that. I'll bring it closer, but He-Man Master of the Universe jumpsuit with the little spandex. Man, I was a little tyke, and He-Man is what really got me going. And then it slowly ventured into like Predator, Bloodsport, Van Damme, Arnold movies like that. But I mean, my first experience was, just picking up. My dad was like, "How about you pick up a weight?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then started doing, arms in the bedroom like every day. Every day arms.
The first workout ever in their life. Arms.
No legs whatsoever for like 3 years. Arms. And then I got bit by the bug, and then that was really it. It just took off from there.
That's he actually showed up in that outfit, which is pretty cool. When was your first contest?
My first contest was in 2003, and a local guy, Will Fike was his name, at Naira Fitness. It doesn't even, it's not even there anymore. It used to be on Transit Road, but he's like, "I think you should do a bodybuilding show." I was like, "Yeah, okay." I didn't really know anything about it, but he gave me his diet plan, and the minute I walked on stage, that was it. It was over. Like something took over me. Like, wow, I really wanna give this a push and see how far I can push myself mentally and physically.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What has changed from your first show to your latest show?
I would say, as far as I follow if it fits your macros, flexible dieting. So I don't do the typical chicken and veggies or chicken and brown rice at every meal. So my diet has changed. It's more accurate because I'm tracking down to the last calorie gram with protein, carbs, and fats. And also my training methods have changed. I'm focusing more on legs now and shying away from them, like the typical arm days. I really don't have an arm day. It's more like heavy compounds, squats, deads, bench press, stuff like that. And watching my body transform, in the off season. That's really how it changed.
Some more knowledge. I think as you grow in this sport, when you do that initial contest, it's awesome and you feel great.
It is.
But then you realize, wait a minute, there's a lot more to it.
So much.
Everything changes. Your body changes. You can take notes from your last show to a current show or a current prep, and oh man, wait, why isn't this amount of carbs working this time? Or why do I feel this way when I felt differently taking that same amount of calories?
You're 100%
that
right.
time? You know what I mean? It's really interesting how it's changing. What keeps you sane during your prep?
What keeps me sane is, I would have to say, I'll show you what keeps me sane. And this is like some of my other hobbies that I have besides bodybuilding. Transformers. It's Super Nintendo games. So if you guys have any Transformers or Super Nintendo games laying around, you gotta hit me up. Hit me up. But yeah, stuff like this keeps me sane. Anything but bodybuilding, because when you leave the gym, there's more to life.
Yeah.
I'm clients that I have, prepping them and helping them out. So, watching TV, movies, stuff like that. That kind of keeps me sane for the most part. Towards the end. Towards the end, it gets a little difficult. It's a little tricky.
What do you hate during prep?
What do I hate during prep? I would say I get a little on the edge when people start asking questions, possibly, and I tend to push people away, which is really weird because a lot of people will bring in people for support, but I tend to want to be quiet in the gym. I want to be kind of in the zone, and if my head's to the ground, people might get offended, but it's got nothing to do with anybody. That's just how I focus, how the mental state I stay on the grind, because I know that a show's coming up and I can't afford to get derailed.
Yeah, you almost become so introverted
Yes.
at that point.
Yes.
Because those last couple of weeks, you just know it. You know what you have to go through, and it's so close, but you know the work you have to put in.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I
And it's
agree.
a grind.
It's-
And until you do it, you don't understand it. You can preach it all you want, but until you go through those days of taking that extra loop around the block before you go home because you're trying to just pull yourself together mentally,
Yeah.
it can be a grind.
Such a grind.
What other hobbies do you have? Anything else? I mean,
You know, the Super Nintendo games, the Transformers. You know, I collect, you know, basketball jerseys, starter jackets. You know, anything 80s, 90s, vintage stuff like that. Stuff that I grew up with. You know,
kind of put your mind at ease. You know what I
it
mean?
really does.
Just
It
settles
takes
you
me.
down.
Yeah, it takes me back to a day when, you know, nothing really mattered. Like it was just. I bought Sonic the Hedgehog, and what's my next video game? You know, it was
Maybe Altered Beast.
Alter. My boy brings up Altered Beast. You're damn right. He knows what's up.
What drives you to keep going in this sport?
Drives me to keep going is I always want to beat my previous best, but I feel like at the end of the day I motivate other people. So if I can motivate, I always said if I can motivate one person, just one person, over the course of me working on myself and improving myself, my job is done. That's it. I just want to motivate just one person. So if I can do that, then I'm on the right track. I'm in the right place.
I agree 100%. That's awesome. Well, now that you guys got to know Joe Rich a little better, make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel if you haven't already, which you all should have by now. What is it?
All business.
Also follow this guy on Instagram.
Twitter, Facebook, look up Joe Rich, and also my buddy right over here, look up Italian Stallion, Bryon Sperduti. We're gonna be probably each week putting out a questionnaire, kind of like a questionnaire series. So if you guys have any questions for me or Bryon, why don't you put them down right down here. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe.
Signing off.